BoxBox Hub is an absolute essential for any Formula One fan, and the entire app with new widgets, statistics, localized race schedules, and countdowns, you name it. They even have support for Apple's new live activities feature with real-time updates during a race right on the lock screen, and honestly, some of the best looking widgets I've seen.
Welcome along, everyone, to the United States Grand Prix. It is round 15 of the 17-round season here in Bronze Season 7. Who is going to be the 7th champion in Bronze history? We will not find that out tonight. unfortunately or fortunately, depending on you guys and gals, it might be really intense on find out the champion is going to be. But at the end of the day, we will not find out anyway until the earliest next week, maybe even not next week, the week after, maybe even not even the week after that in the showdown in Imola. A very unusual end to the season as well. Of course, Formula One does not normally end in Europe. The last time F1 ended a season in Europe, I think, was 1997, wasn't it? And of course, that infamous European Grand Prix where Michael Schumacher drove into the side of Jacques Villeneuve. That's one way of putting it, I must say. Smithy's asked if I am ready. I am ready to go, Smithy. Cannot wait to get going. I probably should just say that in the Discord rather than shout at him. So, yes, indeed. But yes, we are ready to go. Where do I find... hang on, I got to find me thumbs up emoji. Oh, no, it's not a thumbs up, but it would do. No, yeah. Right, hello. Right, I've gotten past this, all this technology malark and all that kind of stuff. Let's get going, shall we? For the United States Grand Prix, as I mentioned, the championship cannot be won today. But like last night in silver, there is going to be lots of challenging aspects of this Grand Prix. The admin's not going to like it. I enjoyed last night's race. I thought it was a doozy, wasn't it? My goodness me, though. Madge, who was looking so strong there, unfortunately, a driver drove into the side of him there. He didn't do it on purpose. He misjudged his braking point, went to the side of the Ferrari, and is that really ruined Madge's race there. And that's exactly what can happen in a Grand Prix racing there. Anything can happen. Remember about all the times in the past of where championships have been decided, where champions elect have fallen in the final hurdle. Michael Schumacher, 98, where his Ferrari stalled on the grid after a lot of shenanigans to start that Japanese Grand Prix off at the best of times. He came from the back of the field all the way back up to third or second before a puncture ended his championship campaign. Of course, the 1994 season, of course, marred with tragedy. Of course, and one of those, we had two horrific deaths, didn't we, in Formula 1 in 94? And it is... and of course, Roland Ratzenberger on this day in 1994, of course, lost his life in qualifying when he was driving the Simtek, which it mars the change. It mars the change in Formula One as a history. It changes the direction of Formula One, hasn't it? Of course, with Roland Ratzenberger and the death of Ayrton Senna, which of course, unfortunately, he died a day later, didn't he, in his Williams car. Lap 7, wasn't it, in Imola? Of course, that's where we're going to finish our championship showdown in ALR Formula 1 this season, and of course for season 10. Season 7 for bronze, of course, but season 10 as a whole. Championship looks like this, as we've got a bit of rain in the air, which I'm not surprised by here. Of course, we had rain here in 2015, and that's a quite legendary Grand Prix where Lewis Hamilton clinched his third driver's crown, didn't he? Of course, way back yesterday. Driver standings looks like this, and as I said tonight, we've got a red light at the end of the pit lane now, which means the Aston Martin is not allowed out just yet, I don't think. So the Aston Martin has rolled out earlier than expected. Now FIFA Beefy's allowed out then, so FIFA Beefy, albeit we're 50 minutes into the qualifying session, but apparently FIFA Beefy wasn't allowed out on circuit. Now he is then. Intermediate tyres at the moment then is... intermediate tyres is the way to go for these drivers at the moment. Whilst FIFA Beef is going through the course, let's quickly go through the drivers and the constructors then. And I've got a zip hoodie on tonight, and that zip keeps catching my headset thing in with jet cable. Maybe I should go wireless potentially. But then again, I actually no, I shouldn't go wireless because I forgot to charge up my Bluetooth headphones earlier today as well, which is shocking stuff indeed. Jay Hings leads the championship then. 2 hours at the beginning of the season, Jay Hings was the major favourite in the championship. But my goodness me, I think it's been a lot closer than what the experts of potential have been saying. Jay Hings very much has been fighting for the championship. Whoever wins it in the next 3 weeks or so would definitely have earned it. That is a fact. And whoever wins silver and gold is also going to definitely earn it as well. The closest the championships have been throughout all of ALR, which I can ever remember. Of course, we've only had a few select championship showdowns in ALR. In gold, we have had, I think we've only had one, didn't we, which is in Abu Dhabi, a season 2, between Emerson and Granty, who was in the stream, which was very cool flashback on Sunday. Silver, of course, we had that incredible showdown in, I think it was season 2 of silver, wasn't it? I think it was. FIFA Beefy back in the pit lane here, so having another for that, then I'm wondering if FIFA Beefy is thinking that potentially, well, he's stopped at the pit lane now. That's not ideal. Jay Higgs, that is the championship leader, just going across the line. Start his lap now. But of course, in silver, we had a showdown in Abu Dhabi, and of course, it was wet there. First ever time I've ever seen it rain in a Grand Prix, in a Grand Prix before. Absolutely incredible, wasn't it? Dan Murphy and Gurman going head to head. Gurman eventually winning that championship, becoming the second ever silver champion. Was Gurman, of course, went on to become the first ever driver to win a silver and gold championship. At the moment in silver, potentially the first ever driver to win a bronze and silver championship in the form of Delando, who currently is fighting with Madge there, and that is going to be going to get to the wall as well. Quickly going through the rest of the driver standings then, as Winnie is flirting with the soft tyres there. We have got Jay Hings then. Brooksy, best season on record there for Brooksy. Remember, he had flashes of brilliance before he kept going into the Phantom Zone in Cobalt, didn't he? With 2 or 3 Grand Prix wins in Cobalt. Bronzy's been he's showed flashes of brilliance in bronze, but this season he has been more of a complete package there. Certainly reminiscent of Lucas Percy, who both drivers do engineer each other, and you can certainly tell from the improvement in driving styles from both drivers have really improved their consistency. Kiki in third position, a driver who's gone from the midfield madness there, has always had a flash of brilliance in one lap pace, but now has really elevated his game in Grand Prix racing as well. So Kiki in third position, 11 points back at the moment there. It is anyone's ball game, this World Championship is in bronze there. And to be honest, if you would bet on against anyone in any of the 3 championships which will be decided over the coming weeks, then you're a braver human being than I am. Or AI, depending on where you're watching the world. But Hings has gone fastest. Second is Kiki. Sickers Muck in third position at the moment. Sickers Muck, home Grand Prix for the Haas team then. Albeit, depending on what you define as an American team in Formula 1 these days. Don't worry, Serious Russia, I'm not going to mention Andretti or go into any go on my soapbox, because of course it's also a very special day. The fact that we've got a happy birthday to celebrate as well, and that is Serious Mushroom. So happy birthday to Serious Mushroom. In terms of ALR, I don't think anyone has ever won a Grand Prix on their birthday. I know that in Formula 1 trim there is 2 people that have done it. I can't remember the second driver. The first driver was Jean Alesi in the 1995 Canadian Grand Prix. I think so. I hope so. Otherwise, I've fallen on my sword with that one. I really hope that is right. Diamond Dan going full fast in the Aston Martin. Of course, he knows what it's like to be in a championship battle. Of course, he was a part of that championship showdown between himself and Jinner back in season 5 of Bronze. Or was it season 6? I think it was season 5 actually, wasn't it? Dan now, of course, a super sub tonight. Then we've got Swan Shanks there, hoping to get some points. And Brooksy, the final of our 3 contenders for the championship. Smithfield Mighty in 4th position there, but Smithfield Mighty needs a 15-point swing between himself and Jay Hings there to keep himself in the championship tonight. Swan Shanks goes 4th fastest in the second Haas car. Jay Hings has gone faster still. In this qualifying session, it's about your confidence, isn't it? I don't think this rain's abating anytime soon at the moment, because of basically because it's still raining, obviously, but also it's about confidence as well. Anyway, where was I? I get distracted far too easily. It's happy birthday to Serious Mushroom, of course, my favourite mushroom. Happy birthday to you, my good sir. Of course, can Serious Mushroom emulate Jean Alesi and winning on his birthday? Then I know there's another driver. If someone could tell me in the comments, that'd be fantastic. I'm sure there's at least 2. which would be superb. Something. For some reason, Jensen Button comes to mind, but I wonder if it might have been pole position for Button, because I'm sure that Button didn't win on his on his birthday. But hopefully, but can Serious Motion get his second Grand Prix win in Formula One machinery? Of course, won in silver and ended the domination of the Haas team back in season 2. Serious Mushroom did. Also won a sprint event, which in Formula 2 in Qatar last season as well, and I'm sure he might have won somewhere else as well. But Jay Hings are currently fast at the road. Only 7 cars are set times so far, going back through the championship. And of course, all the championships. Let's as Brooks is going full fastest. And by the way, I mentioned it on the stream, but I didn't really make a big song and dance about it, because every time I do dance about it, my man boobs hit me in the face. But Brooksy and Smithy Almighty, the first constructors champions of season 10 of ALR. Great stuff indeed there for McLaren team. To I say, have been pretty much head and shoulders above any team, I think, in any championship really since the start of this season. Brooksy and Smithy Almighty have been superb stuff indeed. Then, of course, we're on board Smithy Almighty. So McLaren are the constructors champions now as well this season as a whole for Team McLaren. 5 Grand Prix wins, 3 pole positions, 14 podiums then, and 2 fast lap then. And the 14 podiums, that is actually 5 more than the second highest in terms of podiums as a team, which was the Williams team, I believe. So incredible stuff indeed. I'm sure that Williams team, most of those podiums is actually by Jay Hings there. So McLaren have been supreme stuff indeed. Of course, over the course of the season, I'll get to your comments in just a few moments. I'm not doing a good job at all. I'm monologuing. Smithy Almighty is in 4th in the championship. 5th, McLaren have sealed the constructors now. So now I'm wondering Smithy Almighty's attention, and he's still got a chance in the championship as a long shot, but 2 bad races in the last 2 races for Smithy. I think it's all but ended his realistic chances of clinching the championship this season. But with McLaren win the constructors quite early on as well, with just 3 rounds to go, I think that Smithy Almighty might start to become a hindrance for Kiki and Jay Hings. We'll see though. Let's see how it plays out. Slayer in 5th position. He's also on stream as well then. Slayer, Grand Prix winner this season, his first Grand Prix win of his career. Hopefully it's a building blocks for next season, and a superb 5th in the championship. Sickers Muck on 75 points, 70 points for Marsky. Serious Mush on 69. Nice. Cassau on 51 points, 48 for FIFA Fifi. Then we got 36 for Duncan Davis, not racing tonight. Dynamo Dan also on 36 as well. Can he get himself into the top 10? Moomin on 33 points, 29 as Slayer goes 9th fastest then. 29 points, I've lost my place. 29 points for Rocket Lee's on a superb debut here in Bronze. He's been superb for me. Hungry Stars in 15, Vintage then, of course, he's my champion now, Vintages. Not because he's bribing me with all the dosh he has been sending in, but also because he's a fine human being as well. Winning 17th on at 4 points then. 2 points for Scuba Stew. Swan Shanks and Donna the Dons both on 1. In the Constructors' Championship, just on board with winning now as Cassau has gone quicker by 3/10 of a second. And they're all fueled up. They're going round and round and round in this qualifying session. We'll talk about all the bits and pieces in qualifying in just a jiffy. McLaren leads and have won the Constructors' Championship at 361 points there. Williams are in 2nd position there. They're 4 points in front of the Alpine team. Winnie has taken liberties with the track limits, and that time is going to be invalidated, so we're going to stick with Scooby Stew, who is on the intermediate tires, along with the other teams that have set time so far. Scooby Stew snaking its way through the S as well. Good some deep there for Scooby Stew. Alpine 4 points away from the Williams team in the battle for 2nd and 3rd. I think it's all about being runner-up now, which neither team wants to really get that position, to be fair, but I suppose it's about pride, isn't it? Aston Martin and Ferrari both on 113 points, 102 points for the Alfa Romeo team, 101 points for Alpha Tauri. Goodness gracious me, the 2 Alphas there, Lionel Stern and Ferrari and Aston Martin, not too far up the road here. It's been quite close in the constructors this season for bronze, apart from McLaren. Red Bull on 95, 85 for Haas. The Mercedes on a very distant 24 points at the moment. That's a pretty disappointing season for Mercedes, and it also shows in the constructors as well. Well, I've almost lost my headset, and I'm very happy to say that it's only taken me. How long have we been on there for? It's taken me 19 minutes then to get through the stand-ins and all my monologue in there. But hopefully we have set the tone for what could be a very crucial day in the championship for bronze. But as I stressed, The Drivers' Championship cannot be won here today. Right, Rocket Lee. Hi, Sean. Good luck, drivers. Good evening to you, Rocket Lee. You probably posted that 20 minutes ago. I apologise. Don the Dons. Hello and good luck. Oh, good evening to you, Don the Don. Scuba Steel is going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Oh, goodness gracious me. I'd love to know what that offer is there from Don the Dons. Good luck, Bronze from Knowlesy. Respect then. Wow, rain, says Slayer. Knowlesy, wet indeed it is then. Serious Mushroom. Roland Maxenberg died today on a good note. Adolf topped himself too. Lovely stuff indeed. I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. Not sure, but absolutely, yeah, of course. Serious Mushroom's birthday today. Gotta say, it's a very monumental day, really, isn't it? Scuba Shoe going 11th fastest. Dynamo Dan just going up into 8 from 0. 5 minutes in this qualifying session. Only one qualifying session here tonight, as we are ticking down to the end of qualifying. And Casal is currently on pole position. This will be Casal's first pole position of the season. Then, as Dynamo Dan skips past one of the cars. I didn't see who it was. Winnie is currently up into 4th fastest there. Winnie is. Winnie is a bit. Winnie shows flashes of brilliance. If he gets a practice in, Winnie is very much a Nicky Lauda. If he gets a practice in, he tinkers with the car, and the more he tinkers with the car, the quicker and quicker he gets there. I remember Nicky Lauda was very famous for doing that, especially in his Ferrari days in the 70s. So Winnie there up into 4th fastest at the moment now. Just take a look to see who else out there. Marsky almost a second up in the second split time here. No DRS, of course, because there's a bit wet out there. Marsky has found a second and a quarter to go 5th fastest there. 4.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, which means I've got 4.5 minutes to sort myself out. Movement on the back straight there. No DRS, as I mentioned. Weather don't get me going. A blizzard outside, 10 centimetres of snow. Spring will come. Goodness me, Don's of course from Canada, still experiencing some snow there. But of course, America and Canada have been experiencing a lot of horrific weather as of late, so hopefully Don's is staying safe then. We've got Born on a Great Day then, Serious Mushroom. We've also got hello from Moomin as well. Good luck to everyone. Sorry about the delay. Shocking stuff, Moomin, but we forgive you. And to be honest, Moomin, I kind of wish that you was later, to be honest, because I haven't had much time to go through this qualifying session at all, have I? Smithy, the new Farf with rain then. To be, because Farf is not hosting at the moment. There, Farf has had to pop out for a family emergency. I think one of his family members has broken down on the side of the road there. So Farf is moving almost into the barrier, and goodness gracious me there. I mean, when doing almost his best Farf impression, ironically, as Farf has crashed into the barrier coming into the pit lane before in the Australian Grand Prix pre-season race there, along with Welshman Naldo, who's also crashed coming into the pit lane, and of course the legend himself, David Coulthard. Winnie has retired from the session with just 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Is that going to be a problem there for Winnie? We'll find out that in just for a handful of minutes time. Let's go on board the man who is fighting the championship there. Of course, Kiki 11 points behind Jay Higgs. They're currently in front of him on the road at the moment, slipping down then through turn 1. Evening to you, Camero. Hello to all drivers. Good luck as well. Good evening to you, Camero. Evening to Bravitt. Good stuff indeed, Bravitt. I gotta say, one of my drivers of the season for me. For Bravitt, he's done a superb job in gold. Then, really, I tip my toupee off to you. We've also got Mushroom's birthday. Happy birthday to Movement is saying then. Sean AI, I am paying to see it then. So Knowlesy is an AI, which I always thought he was. He's an absolute machine, that man is. Bravitt then. Oh my God, the legend himself races on the birthday. Stunning indeed, he does that. Bravitt, absolutely, I tip my hat off to him as well, which ironically, if I'm commentating on my birthday, which is, it's all about me, isn't it, Darren? We were talking about Mushroom and then I talked about myself, of course. My birthday is actually on the last race of Bronze as well, which is going to be interesting, isn't it? I'm meant to be going to Torquay on the weekend of the last... Dan's gone fifth fastest, and I'll talk about my events in a minute. Dan's gone fifth fastest in the Red Bull, and Dan was a major thorn in the side, wasn't he, of the championship protagonist last week, wasn't he, on those softer tyres. So can Dan cause all kinds of shenanigans again? Well, winning is very much the main man there for the Williams team. Williams are hoping to get second in the Constructors' Championship. Too late for the constructors, unfortunately. They got an almighty scrap between themselves and the Alpine team. Kiki out the far turn, Kiki across the line, Kiki pole position there by a tenth of a second. Not too far away, that is still doable. When the Haas cars is just starting their lap now, I think that was Swanshank's 11th at the moment. And this grid is quite jumbled up. Jay Hinks invalidated his time, but he's got time to go around again if he needs to. And of course, with these track conditions, it's all about getting confidence. It's more about confidence. I've thrown a lot of fuel in the car and just going round and round there, getting a new set of intermediate tyres on and just going for it. And that's certainly what these drivers are doing here today. And out of the final turn there for Smithy, a bit of a maximum to the limit there for the McLaren team, but unfortunately not enough. And Sick as Muck has just started us up, and that might be the last driver across the line. Whoa, I've knocked me thingy-majig off. Casal just coming out of the final, coming out of turn 18 now. I think and we've also got Dan. I think he was crawling as well. Out of the final turn there for Casal. Has he done enough? No, he hasn't. He's lost a second. It's all or nothing now. Dan's into the pits and into the wall. And goodness gracious me. And succeeded, unfortunately, where Moomin failed. Rocket Lee is the last driver across the line. And here we go then. It's all or nothing now. What about that second McLaren then? I hear us. Brooksy is not going to make it to the line here. Brooksy's invalidated. Brooksy's down into 8th position and second in the championship. A horror show qualifying session for Brooksy. And we'll see how bad it is going to be, because I think drivers are going to be improving all the time. He's down to 9th because Slayer's now produced 7th position there. Marsky is in 8th, and that's second Alfa Romeo Donald not making up any time at all. What about Kiki pole position there? And he's improved by another 4/10 of a second there. So Kiki now up into a pole position. That'll be his 10th pole of the season, I believe, or 11th pole. I'll have a look at my old scrapbook in a minute. But my goodness me, Rocket League down the far end of the circuit. Sick as Muck then just on board with him now in 13th position there. Smithy Almighty is not improving out there. We've got a Mercedes who's just come across the line then. Scooby Stewart 12th position there. Vintage down in 16th position, not improving either. Rocket League then, it's all or nothing now for Rocket League. We've got a yellow flag for one, the McLaren set. And I think that's Smithy Almighty who's found 2/10 of a second, but he's invalidated, and that is him done and dusted. Sick as Muck has found 7/10 of a second there. McLaren could be falling down even further here. Smith Almighty's gone to 7th actually, and Brooksy's down into 11th position. And this is a horror show for the man who's charging for the championship. Jay Hings in third. Brooksy down to 11th at the moment there, and Brooksy could even drop down to 12th with Rocket League. No, Rocket League's off. He's gone onto the loud pedal in the wall. Rocket League's down in 19th position there. No, it's disappointing. Castle is second fastest, just a 10th of a second away, but it's Kiki pole position for Kiki. His first pole position since way back in Qatar, a race ago, or 2 races ago I should say. That is Kiki's 10th pole position of the season. Him and Madge are going for the most pole positions of the season at the moment. Both are joint on 10 at the moment. Madge has had 3 pole positions in a row after last night. Kiki is also on 10 as well. Incredible stuff indeed. But Kiki pole position for the United States Grand Prix in a very wet and wild qualifying session here. Oh my word. And that's his 15th pole position of his career then for Kiki. Lovely jubbly indeed then. What a good start then that was to qualifying here tonight. Kiki pole position by 800 of a second from Casal in second there. Goodness gracious me. Kiki, I think, will be happy that Casal's involved there. However, Kiki does not want Casal to be too involved because of course he wants to take points off Jay Hings but still get the Grand Prix win. Second back, the top 2 in a league of their own in these wet weather conditions. Let's see if it's going to rain in the race then. If it does, Kiki and Casal could be in a league of one. Both Williams is 3rd and 4th. That's great to see. Dan in 5th and 6th position. That's going to be a mouthful. Sick as Muck, 7th. Smith Almighty, 8th. 9th, Slayer. 10th is Marsky. Big news story. Brooksy, 2nd in the championship. Down in 11th. Got a lot of work to do, Brooksy has to make up the places. And it's a tough race to overtake on, especially if you got no DRS. My golly gosh. And there's no rain. I might have to do, I'm going to have to quickly get the adverts on the go. BRB.
BoxBox Hub is an absolute essential for any Formula One fan, and the entire app with new widgets, statistics, localized race schedules, and countdowns, you name it. They even have support for Apple's new live activities feature with real-time updates during a race right on the lock screen, and honestly, some of the best looking widgets I've seen.
Welcome back, everyone, and yes, we're just starting the formation up now. I noticed that you guys don't really like those average, do you? We've had a completely everyone's just dropped, everyone's just left the stream, haven't they? Right, let's quickly go for the comments then. Thank you, Sean, and for the birthday messages. Love ALR, guys. We love you too, Mushroom. Great Britain setup's going to be fun. Movement saying, Cirrus Rocket will rock the field today. Bro, never missed a race said, it's just a birthday. Well, hopefully it's a good birthday indeed, Mushroom Man. Let it's be a good one for all us, said. Happy Mushroom Day, 200 plus races almost in the same year, said. Is it wet in the race, said. Rocket Lee says it's dry then. Did I not get 100 still yet? Kakarot Goku is saying then. Not in a single championship, no, but I'm a single league then, no, but I'm sure that you're quite close. I haven't done the tallies recently. I'll let that slip, Alex. You paid for it. So just on board now then. I'll do a vintage to donate £1 every position you make up. And also then, goodness gracious me, on the back straight as well. Serious Mercy saying it's still wet for me. Ooh, interesting stuff, but interesting stuff did done as I quickly flip down then. Yes, thank you very much for all the comments, and keep all the comments coming in as well, ladies and gents. Great stuff indeed. Fun fact, the top 5 cars are all blue, Robert is saying that. Yes, very good stuff indeed then. Sean could commentate on his birthday as well. Damn, he takes the ALR thing serious. I do indeed. I haven't said that though. I'm meant to be going down to Torquay on the 18th, 19th, which I must say I'm a little torn by because I'm going to miss the San Marino Grand Prix if I do go down to Torquay, and that's quite important to me. Anyway, I'll try and sort that out as well. Right, pole position then. 10 pole positions now for Kiki. He is first. Second is Cassell, both on the medium tires. Jay Hings is gone long and on the hard tires. Winnie has gone soft fed. He is really going to mix it up tonight. Winnie is there in full position. It's great to see. Fifth is Dan down. Look how much trouble he caused last week. Sixth position is the other Dan of Dynamo. Oh dear, the two Dans on row 3. Sickest Monk in 7th position then, flying the flag for the Haas team. Smithfield Mighty in 8th position. McLaren have won the constructors now. Smithfield Mighty is almost out of the championship. He's still in it He's still in there, but I'm wondering if he might be a team player tonight. Slayer in 9th, 10th is Marsky soft. Brooksy 11th, a horror show qualifying then for the championship protagonist. He's got a lot of work to do. Swanshanks 12th, Scuba Stewart 13th, medium tires. Donna the Don soft tires. FIFA Beefy 15th, vintage on the hard. Medium tires for moving. Stars hard. Rocket Lee hard. Happy birthday, Mushroom. 20th on the medium tires. 28 laps. Said I've not taken me jacket off. I'm going to be a sweaty Betty. Let's get going. For the start of the United States Grand Prix. If it's at... We're go! My goodness gracious me! And here we go then. It's a long run up into turn 1 there. And I got to say, it's very inviting when he's already passed his teammate. And I got up the inside and look at this, and they all behave. And the Haas car has made contact with the Red Bull of Dan down there. But it looks Dan's going to have to get out of that. And incredible 17. Kiki's already over the second position. Casals dropped down the ferry. They snake their way through the S to the start of the opening stage. And Slayers off the circuit. Sayers off the circuit and spun the car, and Sayers had a horror show start in that Ferrari, but that is perfect for Kiki. Winnie leads. Goodness me, Winnie leads. Oh my goodness gracious me. We got another yellow flag in the background there. It's one of the I'm not sure who that was, but Winnie leads. Second is Kiki. Third position Cassell. Jay Hings in fourth, and Winnie on the soft tires is absolutely flying out there. And there they are as they come down the back straight. Down 8 positions is Dan. He was getting very cozy in the midfield. field there, and Dan a horror show start in that Red Bull Vintage in Swanshanks Swan position as we go into the big breaking point of 12, I believe that is. I have no idea where I am on the circuit, apart from in sector 3. Okay, but Winnie has absolutely flown off the line here. Remember that the soft tires did go away. Did go away, didn't they, in silver? But my goodness gracious me, I think that is not what Kiki needs then, and that is certainly what Jay Hinks needs. And Jay Hinks has now got Winnie very much on song here, and potentially the perfect time in this championship battle. The Constructors' Championship has already been won here in silver, in bronze, I should say, but certainly the Drivers' Championship is wide open then in this one then. But whoever wins today is going to have a huge advantage going into Brazil and San Marino for the final 2 races, even though I know it's on the San Marino Grand Prix, but I'm an old so-and-so. Out of turn 1 then, and Jay Hinks is looking strong on these hard tires, looking very strong indeed actually, is Jay Hinks, and both Ferraris down in 20th position, but both Ferraris are swapping positions there. Horror show start then for the Scoot area. Just watching Jay Hinks there, look at the pressure he's putting on Casal. Casal is already out of DRS range. FIFA Beefy off the circuit, and I'm not sure if there's been a collision outside. Marsky is facing the wrong way, and that's a safety car. Burn Mylander's out. Where is FIFA Beefy? He is in the middle of the circuit. That is certainly a safety car. And oh dear, FIFA Beefy out of the race already before we've even finished lap 2 here. My goodness gracious me. Winnie then, what are the soft runners going to do? It's too early, isn't it, to come in the pits, I think, to change strategy here. But an open early safety car, I think we had 2 or 3 last night. Is that Brooksy up to 6? Goodness gracious me. Brooksy has put the qualifying setback to one side and is now in 6 and can see his championship protagonist 2 cars and 4 cars up the road from where he is at the moment there. So Brooksy, incredible start there, and on the hard tires as well. So how is this gonna favour any drivers? I think it's too early for any drivers to swap strategies at the moment. But Winnie, what a start there for Winnie. Of course, a Grand Prix winner. Should have probably been a 2-time Grand Prix winner of the pace he had in Baku. Into the pits comes Winnie now. Winnie's early race lead there has come to the end of lap 2, mainly for a safety car. But now Winnie into the pits, and I think that no other drivers are going to come in at this stage of proceedings. And I feel that is absolutely the dream for Kiki, because now Kiki can really get his head down and could just produce what he needs to do. FIFA Beefy out of the race after the session. Don the Dons has sped coming into the pit lane. What is Winnie doing? And of course, Winnie, the early pace setter, now onto the medium tyres. I wonder if Winnie's going to go medium now until the end of the Grand Prix. Out in front of the Ferrari of Rocket League. Donna the Dons speeding coming into the pits, and Marsky into the pits. Well, looks like no damage from Marsky. We did not see what happened to himself and FIFA Beefy. Maybe Marsky was not even involved at all. But we seen him facing the wrong way, and we seen FIFA Beefy out of the race and very early on in this one. But Marsky coming into the pits there. No nose cone change there for the Alfa Romeo. Now onto the medium tyres. Dan, a horror show starts for Dan. Down in 18th position, but now he's on the hard tyres. Dan is. He's going to go a very long way. Penalties is going to be a problem here tonight. There's been a lot of penalties over the past couple of days. Of course, you get a penalty for cutting the course or running wide, then and perceiving to gain an advantage. Proceeding to gain an advantage there, so that is why. So that is what the penalties are for, and of course, avoid speeding in the pit lane and all that kind of jazz, and basically being a naughty driver. Let's take stock. We're on lap 3. So in the opening stage of this Grand Prix, we've had 4 cars coming to the pits. Winnie, Donald the Don, Slayer, Dan, and Marsky have all come into the pits. Everyone else has stayed out. All the drivers that started on the soft compound tyre is now swapped to the medium or the hard tyre, and maybe the drivers that start on soft gone to mediums might be able to go medium to the end of this race. And Kiki, they're just trying to warm up those tyres. Kiki leads the way then. Second position is Casal. Looked very strong in qualifying. Kiki and Casal in a league of one, weren't they? Both of them were separated by 800 of a second, and it was a second back to Jay Hinks, but that was in completely different conditions there. Kiki getting their 10th pole position of the season, their 15th pole position of their career in bronze, which I think is a record. I think the most actually was Energetics with 12, and I think New Potato was also on 12 as well, the first ever bronze champion there. But Kiki, who's kind of blitzed that in the last couple, blitzed that this season, honestly, 15 pole position there in bronze, which is a new record. Second position, Casal. As we've mentioned, consistency for Casal next season. If Casal's on the grid in bronze, he's going to be Casal's going to groom us now, but he might be one of my picks for championship challenger next season. Casal, if we can get that consistency, similar to Kiki at this time last season, if we can get that consistency in, I think that Casal is going to be a major factor in the championship battle going forward. Jay Hinks in third position, the highest runner on the hard compound tires here. Fourth position, Dynamite down on the medium. Brooksy has an electric start from 11th to 5th in the opening 1 or 2 laps. And incredible stuff there from Brooksy. A horror show in qualifying there. Goodness me, it sounded like it was all doom and gloom after what we were saying. What I was saying in qualifying for Brooksy. Stormed up in the 5th position. He is back in the game. Mr. Brooksy is there, only 2 points away from. Only 2 points away from Jay Hinks in the championship. Smithfield Mighty is in position. Both McLarens have got clinched the Constructors' Championship. Smithfield Mighty does have a mathematical chance of winning the championship still, but that's a very unrealistic shot at the moment. Sickers Mark in 7th position. Scuba Stew, great start for Scuba Stew in 8th position there. Good 17th there. One of the better performers there. One of his best seasons for Scuba Stew this season in 8th position there. Moving in at 9th position. 10th position is Swanshanks. Vintage up to 11th. Serious Mushroom up to 12th. Safety cars in this up there. Styles in 13th. Winnie, who's the leader of this race, and hopefully he doesn't trip over anyone because he's got some pace, and that's Willie. 15th position is Rocket League. 16th position is Donna the Dons. 17th is Slayer. Dan in 18th. Marsky in 19th. And lap 4 out of 28 here. We're about to get going. Both McLarens had a good opening 2 laps. Knowles here saying movement. It's not easy racing when they badly need the lube, which isn't ideal at all, is it? Of course. Well, the drivers have been rumoured to use the facilities or lack of facilities in their car, but I don't think Moomin should be doing that where they are at the moment, because that might be very difficult to clean up. When is Kiki going to go then? So Kiki is the de facto safety car. He's gone, you know. Here we go then. So we're back racing here in Kota then. Lap 5 out of 28, and Kiki almost spin the car. And that's bad exit for Kiki. Has now let Casal in, and has now let Casal lead this race then. And that's a horror show for Kiki. He still has the inside then, but this is a lot of pressure now for Kiki, and that has now allowed Jay Hinks through. Another new second position. Jay Hinks is through and into second now. Casal down into third. Who went from a tag to the fence there, and a twinkling of an eye there for Casal, but down into third. And the top 2 in the the top 2 of the top 3 of the championship, top 2 in this race at the moment. Brooks all over the back of the gearbox of the Aston Martin. Brooksy is had and Scooby Stew, unfortunately, the curse of the commentator mentioned how well Scooby Stew's doing. Unfortunately, a 3-second penalty for his troubles. Penalties is going to be a costly error in this race. It's going to cost a lot of drivers a lot of positions. And one driver who won the race last night with no penalties whatsoever was Favre. Incredible drive from Favre last night. Really impressive stuff indeed there for Favre. On course to be promoted back into gold then. And Favre is one of the longest serving drivers of ALR history. So very good stuff indeed there for Favre. Much to my chagrin. Up the inside goes Brooksy. Wrong car. There he is. Brooksy up into 4th now. Dynamite down there. Down into 5th finish there. Next McLaren behind Dynamite down is Smithfield Mighty. Just shows the pace of the top 3 this season. They've been a league of their own. Marsky has got a 3-second penalty. Winnie is going up to 12th position there. Flying through the field then. 2 positions. Winnie is already made up in this race. And fantastic there from Winnie. Flying at the moment. 4th on the grid there. And it's now 12th at the moment. As it stands though, Kiki has track position. But of course, Jay Hinks has the tyre advantage. Jay Hinks looks quite strong in the opening, 1.5 laps we had around here. But Jay Hinks looking very comfortable on the medium tyres. Winnie is looking comfortable on the mediums. He's through and past another driver. 3 cars he's passed on this opening lap here. What incredible start. And Both Alpha Romeos looking a bit distant in the background here. Up the inside goes Swanshanks having a sniff on the inside of Scuba Stew, but no dice there. And that's Alpha Romeo, but Cirrus Merchant there just trying to defend off Vintage in a 13th and 12th position respectively. Scuba Stew's got no penalty, unfortunately. That's a lot of understeer there from the Mercedes. Swanshanks is going to be very interesting indeed. So is Winnie as well. Over the gearbox of the Haas car. Winnie has already pitted, hasn't he? Winnie has and look at that, they're just giving this Haas car a bit of a nudge. Then over the brow of the hill comes Winnie. Then no DRS just yet. Winnie is going to go on the outside here. Goodness gracious me, he's got so much full confidence. Winnie has, but he might go for the old switch route, but no. Swanshanks parks in the middle of the road there, but Winnie's not going to. It's not going to be concerned about it at all. Jay Hinks has lost second position. Cassal's read back through there. You just see him just under the screen there. As Kiki's had an incredible second lap. Winnie is now into 11th position there. Incredible driving indeed there. Whoa, that was a bit sketchy though, wasn't it? My goodness me, but Winnie is still in 10th position there. Oh my goodness gracious me, an incredible battle there. And Swanshanks has gone wide. Serious Mushroom there. There's an inviting door there for Mushroom up the inside there. Mushroom banging wheels there with Swanshanks. Goodness gracious me. But Mushroom is very, I'm sure he's had a piece of birthday cake today and he is on the outside. Contact between Mushroom and Swanshanks. Swanshanks is into the wall. He may have damaged the rear car, the rear wing there from Swanshanks. That's a horror show for the team from the team from America. And who is that then? And that is Moomin having an issue down into turn 20. Winnie is through as well and up into 8th position. Cassell getting past Jay Hinks. Look at this. Brooksy, second in the championship, is now 6/10 of a second away from Jay Hinks. Both on the harder tire. Brooksy has gone through the field like a hot knife through butter. What an incredible start from Brooksy. Incredible stuff indeed here in Circuit of the America. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff indeed there. We got Cirrus Mushroom all over the gearbox. Moomin struggling out there. Moomin, we just heard that Moomin's on the British setup there. So that's going to hinder him ever so slightly. And Cirrus Mushroom having a look up the inside. Nolte has spotted that issue there from Cirrus Mushroom. And of course, he might be able to get away with it because it is his birthday after all, that isn't it? So Dan down into 6th position. DRS has been enabled then. A bit slow from my point of view. I apologise profusely. Up the inside goes Smithy Almighty. Passes the Aston Martin. Dan also through as well. Goodness gracious me. And talking about, oh gosh, and that's contact between the two Alpha Towers. What is going on there? Moving in Scuba Studio, having an almighty shutdown, and they're all banging wheels. Remember that these two, oh gosh, that doesn't look good. And hopefully they can give each other space there, because goodness gracious me, it's like Dodgems out there. And oh gosh, and now I think that that's Dan also having this as well. Oh my goodness gracious me, it's getting a bit fraught out there now. It's hot under the sun here. It's also hot under the collar. Dan is backed right off there. Dan has he got damage here in the Red Bull, and Dan had a horror show start. And now it looks like being involved in all kinds of shenanigans. And up the inside goes Marsky. Not quite there out of the final turn. Oh my word, then that is getting very fraught indeed then at the back of the field. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm wondering if I wonder if it's getting a bit personal between a couple of these drivers. And goodness me, Vintage braking quite heavily there. And I think, oh, it is Styles off the circuit there. It is getting a bit, I gotta say, it's getting a bit fraud at the back there, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Of course, we had a action-packed Grand Prix in Silver last night, didn't we? And it looks like we're going to have some action here tonight. And Rocket Lee, unfortunately, been caught red-handed. Not only is he in the Ferrari, he was also on board with him as well. That is, he's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles there. Dan up the inside of Moomin. Not quite though. Moomin there, break. No! Goodness me! And Kiki takes the lead. I have missed it. Brooksy's up into 2nd position. Passes the championship leader. And I'm in the 3rd. And I have missed the lead being overtaken. Shocking behaviour from Mr. Producer here. Absolutely horror show. But what is not a horror show is Cassell. He is flying out there. It's not just wet weather. Cassell is an absolute on fire around here tonight. Wow, what an overtake indeed there. With Kiki in 2nd at the moment. Brooksy in 3rd. third. Fourth is Jay Hings. Jay Hings said, I thought he would have had a lot of pace on this. I thought he would have had a lot of pace. More banging wheels. Goodness gracious me. And now on the inside goes Dan. Passes the AlphaTauri. Of course, they're meant to be sister teams, aren't they? The Red Bull and the AlphaTauri. But goodness gracious me, again, very fraught then. Movement going wide there, and I think the movement's going to be picking up a warning for their troubles. And out of the far turn, and those tires on the AlphaTauri are screaming hot by the looks. There's no grip at all, no purchase. Slayer's up to 12th position then. Oh my word. Action pack at the back here, at the front. Jay Hings now all over the gearbox of Brooksy, but Brooksy from a length on the from 11th on the grid is up into third position now. Oh, goodness me! Jay Hings has got a penalty. And as that stands, and Movement's got a penalty as well. Goodness me, they're racking them in already here. That McLaren is harvesting there in front of us, and so that might help Jay Hings to a certain degree. But Cassau leads, but the gap is now 1.5 seconds between Winnie, between Cassau and Kiki and Brooksy. There goes Jay Hings. He passes Brooksy. There they are in the background. Kiki is still in second position at the moment, there, but he is gaining points now over the his two championship rivals. That is the major point we need to take into account at the moment there. More action at the back of the field then. Well, it's not the back of the field, it's the midfield, isn't it? Moving down into 40th position. Moving needs to get the tire temperatures under control. But as Marsky there up into 13th position there. Marsky's pitted already in this race there. Yeah, the tires, I think the tires just need to get under a bit of temperature control there from Movement, and then might be able to then move forward. Serious pressure into 9th position at the moment. Back on board there with Brooksy. What an incredible start for Brooks at the moment. My early driver of the day, but I'm not going to say anything more than that. I need to keep stum as camera racer and Notes is getting very is probably getting a bit nervous in the comment section there, because I think they look a bit bewildered. Moomin getting another penalty there. Not ideal. Moomin now dropping down 60 position. The tires, I think the tires are just too hot, aren't they? As moving into the pits now, just on board then with Brooksy. So, gap at the front then is now at 7/10 of a second. The gap between Kiki and Hings here. This is going to be interesting. But remember, what am I saying? I have forgotten about the tyres. The difference between the tyres and hard tyres for Jay Hings and Brooksy. Kiki needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining. The sun is shining then as moving out to the Grand Prix. Brooksy that is having a snap of oversteer there on the back straight. The tires, the step of tires between the hard and the medium tires between Brooksy, Hings and Kiki. And now Brooksy is in third position, passes Kiki. And I don't think they're going to be losing too much time here. Oh, Brooksy getting a snap of oversteer there. Dan is back up in the 10th position now. Dan is the highest runner who's coming to the pits on the hard tires. The highest runner on the medium tires is Winnie. Then so Winnie is currently in 7th position and has 2 laps younger tires on those medium compound tires. So that may prove crucial later on in this one. Advantage for Winnie is as well, then he does not need to go onto the hard tyre now if he don't want to. He can go onto the mediums if he likes. He can go onto the hard tyres if he likes. He can even go onto the softs if he really wants to. But I think that might be a splash and dash, as they used to say back in the olden days of Formula 1. They don't say it these days because there's no refueling. So it's just tyre formula these days rather than a fuel formula. Whether you like that or not, it remains to be seen. I do look back quite fondly back at the refueling era of Formula 1, but I'm not sure if it'll work these days in Formula 1. Personally, just on board now with Jay Hings. He is all of the gearbox of Brooks at the moment. The gap is 2 seconds. Not bad, not great though. There's Smithy. Smithy back to his best then after last two races. Smithy's been a bit of the wilderness, hasn't he, in that second McLaren. And I think that Smithy, as it stands, is out of the championship. But Smithy certainly is going to be one of the drivers that is going to be celebrated quite nicely at the end of the season. I am sure of it. Winnie's through. Brooksy's lost out to Hings. Hings back up into third now. And once again, just having a yo-yo. We have seen a lot of this over the course of the season, haven't we? Between Jay Hings and Brooksy just swapping around. Kiki has now started to put his toe down again here. Dan getting past Mushroom up into 9th position. You can't do that. Dan Mushroom, of course, is the birthday man today. But in all seriousness, in all seriousness, Serious Mushroom is in 10th position at the moment now. Scuba Stew in a very good 11th position now. For Scuba Stew, I do not want to be the bearer of bad news, but Scuba Stew does have a 6-second penalty, and we ain't even at half the distance. Then out of the final turn there. So I think that, so what's going to happen now then is we've had a bit of calm in this race now. 18 cars remain after the 20 that started in this one. Casal leads this race, and he has not won a Grand Prix yet this season. Vintage is getting another penalty. That's going to be painful for Vintage. There's a lot of penalties out there. We were checking with the penalties, I think, in a couple of laps or 2 time. But one of the big penalties is this one here. It is Jay Hings, a 3-second penalty already for Jay Hings, and we're entering a half distance yet. You can see his one of his championship rivals, Kiki, in front of us. Kiki's got an 11-point deficit between himself and Jay Hings at the moment. So as it stands, there is 3 points swing between Kiki and Hings, which means that the gap will just come down to 8 points, give or take. Of course, my maths is not my strongest. I don't know what my strongest is. Probably body odor, but that's about it in terms of attributes. Brooksy coming back out, Hings now, and both drivers are all. Well, it looks like Hings is now harvesting. We've seen Brooksy harvesting earlier on this race. Now it's Hings' turn to harvest, and then now 2 seconds back. But they're still within arm's reach, aren't they? On board now with Kiki. Of course, 15-time pole sitter now in bronze. Of course, 10 times this season, him and Madge have just absolutely run away with qualifying, haven't they? In silver and bronze. Fantastic qualifying trims from both those drivers. Superb stuff indeed. Looking forward to seeing what they do in their respective leagues next season then. However, that's next season. What about this season? Into the final turn then. Casal looking very strong indeed. So let's take stock. Lap 13 then. Casal leads the race and has not won a Grand Prix this season then. Second position is Kiki, both on the medium tires. And Nosey has just said then that undercut is powerful around here. So that I think is advantage to the medium runners, and then potentially Smithy and Winnie and Co might be able to get an undercut then potentially for Jay Hings and Brooksy. Moomin saying, sorry, I can't race, and I'm losing my head there. Moomin is saying that's why he's out of the race. So absolutely, super down my tyres have gone like that. Moomin. We expected that something went wrong with Moomin's tyres, because every time Moomin tried to get back on the power, the back end was just snaking away, wasn't it? Like an excitable dog, wasn't it? That AlphaTauri out of the Grand Prix is Moomin at the moment now. We have got the pit window is now open for Knowlesy is saying that. So yes, half distance is upon us. Brooksy, even before half distance, is back into the championship battle here. Winnie in 6th position there. Winnie's driving superbly well, and of course that is not going to be ideal at all for the Alpine. Alpine are about 4 points away from the Williams team, but both Williamses are looking strong at the moment. Then. Looking strong at the moment, and of course, so that is not ideal at all then for Kiki and Alpine's point of view. The second Alpine, Hungry Stars, had no pounds of moment for Stars, down in 18th position there, but this race could come back to Styles there in the not too distant future. So we'll keep an eye on the battle for second in the constructors. However, I don't think drivers nor team, yellow flag. What has occurred? Oh goodness me! And what has occurred? Yellow flags at this stage of the circuit here, and just take a look, see what has actually happened. I don't think anything else happened, does it? Oh, we got a Mercedes in the pit. It is Scooby Stew in the pits, and I'm not sure if as dropping down the order now, Scooby Stew is coming into the pits and changing tyres, and I presume that Kiki's had a horror show first sector there, dropping out of DRS range. That is not ideal at all. Rocket Lee is out. Is he gone into the pit lane? No, I think the Rocket Lee's gone into the pit lane and into the wall. It's a safety car. Oh my goodness gracious me. Now the undercut is going to be void here, but Swanshank's in the pits now. But I think that Rocket Lee's come into the pit lane and got into the pit wall and out of the race end for the Ferrari. And the second safety car, Rocket Lee has joined a lot of esteemed company though. David Coulthard has crashed and come into the pit lane. So has Farf as well. And of course, Ayrton also got himself disqualified for leaving the pit lane, for crashing in the pit exit there, which I love to bring up. Of course, I'm sure that other people have crashed into the pit lane as well, but those three are my favourites. Actually, Coulthard isn't there, because I was heartbroken when that happened there for Coulthard back in the 1995 Australian Grand Prix when they was in Adelaide. My goodness gracious, what a circuit that was then. See, that'll be one thing I want on next year's game, which ain't going to happen. We'll have to have classic circuits. Have an ALR race around Adelaide. Yes, big thumbs up. Have an ALR race around India. Yes, please. Korea, I never liked that circuit, but yes, please. I'd love that as well. So, Casal in the pit said, it's a no-brainer, surely, to come in the pits now, half distance. So, now the shoe is on the other foot then. So, now Kiki and Casal is on the softer tyre, on the medium tyres, is now going to be on the harder rubber. Whilst Jay Hings and Brooksy are... Casal's on the soft! Good heavens above! My word, that's really thrown a curveball. And Kiki is as well. Good gracious me! Well, I was not expecting the soft tyres at this stage, but I love live sport. It's fantastic, isn't it? Cirrus Mushroom has got a 5-second penalty, unfortunately for Mushroom there. Of course, it is his birthday tonight for Cirrus Mushroom, but sadly you can't get away with that kind of shenanigans coming in the pit lane. Swiftfield Mighty has not lost any time whatsoever. That's incredible. He's still in 5th position there. Winnie, unfortunately, Winnie's offset tyres has come to an end, but now on medium tyres. I suspect that the soft tyres ain't going to get to the end, you know. Diamond down on the hard. Smithfield Mighty on the hard. Sick as Muck has gone medium, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, because all the drivers have gone soft. On tyres and nothing else. And I do not question the toughness of any of these gentlemen out here tonight. Cirrus Mushroom in 10th position on soft. Slayer on medium. Marsky on soft. Scooby Stew on hard. Vintage on medium. Swanshanks on hard. Hungry Stars and Donald Dodds both on medium tyres. Well, I'm at a loss for this. This is fantastic though. So this is the kind of racing we want to see, though, isn't it? We've got 3 different strategies now. Well, we've got more than 3 strategies. We've got umpteen strategies out there now. But what the beauty is about this is that we have got Kassan and Kiki have gone from medium to soft tyres. We've got Hings going from, and Brooksy going from the hards to the medium. We've got Smithfield Mighty going from the mediums to the hard tyres. The top 5 drivers have all gone 3 separate ways then about how to strategize this race. Fantastic stuff indeed. Really, hang on. Excuse me, I had a frog in the throat. What was I doing now? I don't know. But as it stands then, 3 different strategies. This is the penalty situation mode. Cirrus Mushroom, 5-second penalty. That's going to haunt him unless there's another safety car or a free pit stop. Cirrus Mushroom is going to, that 5-second penalty is going to be added to the end of his race time. Marsky, same with Marsky, 3-second penalties, and Vintage, 3-second penalties. I apologise profusely to Vintage. I accuse Vintage of having a 2 3-second penalties. Shocking stuff indeed, Mr. Commentator. 6-second penalties for Scooby Stew and 3-second penalties for Jay Hings. Jay Hings had that penalty pop up umpteen laps ago, so that is quite a way past that. So Jay Hings could be on the cusp of more penalties there, but so can all these drivers out here. So lap 16 and safety car, I think will be in at the end of this lap then, which means it'll be Cirrus Mushroom coming into the pits then. I wonder if Cirrus Mushroom there is going to serve that 5-second penalty now and also get rid of the soft tyres, go back onto the medium. So we're going to go on lap 17. That's about 12 laps then till the end of this race then. So 12 laps on the soft tyres. Is that doable? We've seen 12 laps be done, but I'm not sure how competitive it's been out there. But it might be because the circuit's a bit more green tonight. We've had a little bit of sprinkling of rain in qualifying, or it could just be because the temperature's down as well. It could be all kinds of factors, isn't it? These Pirelli tyres are certainly very much a mystical art, aren't they? They really are indeed. These Pirelli tyres are, and I think that they're here to stay for the foreseeable future as well. Bring back the tyre war, I say. Having said that, though, if anyone had the pleasure of watching the United States Grand Prix in 2005, potentially not then, of course, with only 6 cars racing that day, which is a fascinating day in Formula 1 history. If you thought Formula 1 politics and all that kind of shenanigans was going on now was bad, go back and just go back and read about some of the stuff that was going on that day in history. Quite shocking stuff indeed. Then a lot of power brokers and all that kind of good stuff. Which, to be honest, it was quite good fun to listen to and hear as well. Of course, back before the internet. Well, video set was around, but I certainly didn't. I had to wait until ITV was broadcasting Formula 1, which that was a very long ode 2 weeks there. That was a very long 2 weeks then between the United States and French Grand Prix in 2005. But of course, I think that also ended Michelin's run with Formula One as well, unfortunately. And then, of course, Bridgestone became the sole supplier from 2007 up till 2010. And then Pirelli has had the tyre contract, which I am sure that Dana the Dan and Jake the Slayer have gone into each other. That is not ideal. And, oh dear, they're going to be kicking themselves like that. I'm looking at the wrong car. Slayer and Dan down there, both have collected each other. And I'm wondering if Slayer has also got damage as well. We're going to be green again here. When is Casal and Kiki going to go? Remember, Kiki had a horrific slide at the end of that one. Out of the final turn then. And let's get going again then. So Casal leads. This time it's a much more controlled start then to this one then. Who's that in the background? And that's Winnie already passing Smithy. Goodness gracious me. Winnie's had his Weetabix tonight. Up into fifth position. There goes the Williams driver. And like Smithy said, when Winnie gets the car right in the sweet spot, he is an absolute monster, Winnie is. He certainly is tonight, flying up into fifth position now. I remember is doing a two-stopper as well. That safety car may have played against Winnie. I'll wait and see on that, and it'd be interesting what the drivers think at the end of this race. But I think that safety car may have hurt Winnie ever so slightly. We'll find out though. How is the safety car going to help and hinder anyone else? I think that, to be fair, the safety car probably hurt Casal and Kiki to a certain degree. How Brooksy and Jay Hings there. Donna the Dons and Swanshanks also swapping position as well. And I got a really itchy ear all of a sudden. Down the back straight then we have got no DRS just yet. Swan sick as muck all over the back of Dynamite Dan. Donna the Dons got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately. At the moment, sick as muck. No DRS then, which means that he may have to wait a couple of laps and it going up the inside there. And Smithy Almighty contact was that Deborah off of the McLaren driver. And Dan there, really, was Smithy Almighty caught up in there potentially, but Smithy now back up in his 6th position or 7th position, thank goodness me, and Sigismund has got a penalty there for his track limits there and his interpretation of the circuit. Who is that? Marsky also off the circuit as well. But I think Smithy Almighty may have been caught napping there down the back straight potential. Was he having some kind of issue? Casal's had the fast lap of the race then so far. But my goodness gracious me, a lot of different tyre compounds here. Dan and Smithy on the hard tyres, sick as muck, and Marsky's on the soft tyres, medium tyres for the remainder of the field. At the inside, Dan there has gone right very deep then, almost out of control there. I think just about got away with that one, but I would be a very unhappy chap if that happened to me. Banging wheels then between Sigismund and Marsky, and Sigismund there spinning the car, and potentially should Sigismund have backed out that one? I'm not sure, but they were very friendly with each other going into the S's, and we had a similar incident between the two Alfa Romeos last night, didn't we? Of Camera and Vessier. Goodness gracious me. It's not been very friendly between these drivers here in good old US of A. My word. So I don't think they'll be sharing their racing experience over a barbecue after this one, I'm sure of it, which is shameful behaviour indeed, because everyone loves a barbecue. Kiki takes the lead on the United States Grand Prix. Jay Hings and Brooksy are going very happy in second and third and fourth at the moment, but Jay Hings does have a penalty. And look at that second blue card. There is Winnie. Winnie flying for it. We're back with this battle here. Winnie in 5th position at the moment. Superb driving from Winnie. My drive of the day so far. I change it every lap. I'm going to probably change it again. Marsky. My goodness me, I thought he clipped Slayer then, and my goodness gracious me, I thought he was going to tip Slayer into a spin there as Marsky going this way and that way. I think that Marsky might be a bit bemused about the incident on the last lap or two. Back here, and now DRS has enabled. Then Scooby Stew getting another penalty, unfortunately, for his efforts out there tonight. Then so Scooby Stew is racking them up. Unfortunately, that's going to cost Scooby Stew, who's got some mighty fine pace out there in that Mercedes. But unfortunately, the penalty is going to come back to bite him on the proverbial. Up into turn 1, Kiki 7/10 of a second, but is in DRS range of Casal. Jay Hinks has started to really turn up the heat now on Casal, and Kiki trying to extend there, and Brooksy just being followed alongside and with Winnie as well. I must say that with that Williams of Winnie really putting the pressure on Brooksy, I think that Brooksy that's going to be very unsuspected for Brooksy, because I think that Brooks had a horror show qualifying, but when he was planning out the strategy, it's not Brooksy. I don't think would have factored Winnie in in there. And Winnie, of course, is teammate to the championship leader, Jay Hinks. So that's an almighty, that's a pun intended as a Roger Smith almighty, but that is going to be a very interesting development here. Donna the Dons is off the circuit, as sick as Merck and Donna the Dons not too friendly with each other there, unfortunately, down at the back end of the field. Jay Hinks has lost out then, because Brooksy just so is surmising about potential. Winnie's got a 3-second penalty. Unfortunately, that's both the Williams team with both penalties there. And I was surmising that Brooksy might need to get out of the way of Winnie, as the two Dans are now going wheel to wheel. Dynamite Dan has dropped behind Smithy Almighty, unseen by us then, whilst we was waffling on. Serious Mushing getting past Swan Shanks as well. There's action galore in this United States Grand Prix. Lap 20 then, and we have got still 8 more laps to go in this, and good heavens above. Wow, fantastic. Well, it depends on from what point of view. Both Williamses will not lose track position behind them then. So both of them got 3-second penalty. Smithy Almighty is 5 seconds back at the moment. Dan up the inside, but Dynamite Dan there going up, just doing the old swapperoo. Seeing Dan going up the circuit, couldn't find the traction in the Red Bull, and Dynamite Dan back into 7th position. Good recovery drive, by the way, from Dan because down in 18th position after the opening lap or two, back up into 8th now, and very much in the thick of it for points then. So Brooksy is now starting to really pull away from Jay Hings here. Is Jay Hings struggling on the medium tires there, or is he just sitting there just watching and waiting in the shadows? I'm sure that is a song there. Knowlesy has just put in the comments there. It's goodness me, was that debris was that debris on marbles coming off of the circuit there? Knowlesy has just said that the soft tires is not going to make it. Casal on the inside. Brooksy has gone from 11 for the grid. Contact there between Marsky and Brooksy, and Casal and Brooksy, and Casal is off the circuit. Goodness gracious me. Oh goodness me, hopefully there wasn't any damage on the two cars. Jay Hings getting a bit squirrely. Knowlesy says that the soft tires aren't going to make it. I think it was a bit of a stretch really. They need a safety car I think then, but they're going to lose track position as well. But at the moment Brooksy's in the box seats from 11th on the grid, and at the moment will take the lead in the Drivers' Championship with some penalty, goodness me, and Brooksy's got a penalty, but he has got the pace at the moment over Kiki. He has the advantage. If I was to be Kiki, Brooksy or Jay Hings, I'd love to be any of them three. However, if I was one of those three tonight, I think I'd be happier to be in Brooksy's shoes, because he has the pace, I feel, and also he's got on an end as well, coming from 11th on the grid up into 2nd there. He has a penalty, but he's got tyres which will get to the end. The softs I don't think will. Winnie is all over the back of Casal. Casal unfortunately fighting with Kiki and Brooksy, and unfortunately Brooksy and Casal kind of collected each other. Casal's got no tyres, has he? Look at that, they're almost spinning off the circuit. They're almost a second out of the top 3, and look at Brooksy all over the gearbox of Kiki, and Kiki there might be nervously looking over his shoulder here, because there is 3 cars behind him. 2 cars behind him that is on the medium tyres. Brooksy takes the lead in the United States Grand Prix, and goodness me, Winnie's past Casal as well. Oh my goodness gracious me, I'm wondering why I'm looking at that. There's Winnie through it up in the 4th position there. Winnie is flying at the moment, and it's now going to be pushing his teammate. What has Kiki got left in these tyres then? I don't think they got a lot, to be fair, have they? Look at this battle here, goodness gracious me. And once again then, we have got well, it's usually we've got 3 cars at the front, and then the rest of the field then fighting tooth and nail for the remainder of the points there. But tonight we've got 5 drivers there, very much at the sharp end of the field. Then we've got Smithy Almighty, Kind and Dan, Slayer, Dynamo Dan, Marsky, all in a batch there. And then we've got Serious Mush, and then on the soft tyres, there he is in 11th position. Serious Mush is doing a lot of harvesting on those tyres. Kiki having a sniff, but nothing more than that then. But he's now going to have the dirty air of Brooksy. And this is what we mean by pressure cooker time. Top 3 in the championship, top 3 in this race at the moment then. But it's Jay Hings who leads the championship in 3rd, Brooksy who is 2nd in the championship leads, and it's Kiki who is 3rd in the championship, which is 2nd. Kiki has no penalties but is on the soft tyres. Jay Hings and Brooksy has penalties but they're on the medium tyre, and we expect them to get to the end. We're not sure about the soft tyres, and Knowlesy has told us in the comment section that the soft tyres are going to struggle to get to the end, and I must say that I think is probably a right decision, a right answer there, because I feel that we have seen over the past 2 races that the soft tires do not like to go too far in this one. But I've got to say, I'm seeing a lot of soft tires tonight, which over the course of the event, we've seen more than any other race over the course of the season, which is nice to see actually. And Jay Hings there, almost into the back of Kiki there. Oh my word! And oh gosh, I'm getting a bit of a sweaty Betty here. Marski has passed Dynamo Dan, and of course Dynamo Dan on the harder tyre. Kiki and Casal had the option to go either the hards or the softs. They elected to go to the soft tyres there. Is this why they went to the soft tyres? Because the hard tyres of Smithy Almighty and Dynamo Dan is done them all right, but I'm not sure they're not really setting the world on fire. Swan Shanks has got a 3-second penalty for his troubles. Brooksy has now got an 1/8 of a second advantage. This is an incredible show, by the way, from Brooksy. Superb stuff indeed there from the McLaren driver. Going to retake the lead in the World Championship. Kiki then can't afford then to lose any more points though to the top 2 in the championship. He's 9 points away from Brooksy, 11 points away from Jay Hings in the championship. He cannot afford them to lose any more points at the moment, can he? So it's pressure for Kiki now. He is not out of the championship, not by a long shot if it finishes as it is now, or even if he finishes 3rd or 4th. But it is starting to become very difficult for Kiki going into the Brazilian race in 2 weeks' time. Of course, we have a break week next week. Tomorrow night is the last race, 100% realistic performance race on F1 at 23 in Brazil, and what a way to finish off the season in Brazil as well. Of course, one of the classic race circuits on the Formula 1 calendar. Winnie there in that 4th position at the moment. They're doing a great job for Williams, isn't he? Winnie is our best driver of the season, and once again, Winnie shows that he is a very stupendous competitor, isn't he? Winnie is there, of course, and I think that Winnie really impressed us indeed. We've seen the flash of this last season that we Marski back down into 10th position. Now it's the hard tires. I'm now wondering if the hard tires are now going to start to come into their own there. Smith and White here about 7 seconds away from the top 5. Not happening too yet there for Smith, but if Smith, you can find some pace there, especially if the soft and medium tyres start to fall off there and the hard tyres start to become the premium tyre in this one, then potentially Smith and White might take away some points there from Jay Hings, which would be music to the ears of Brooksy. Brooksy's still in DRS at the moment there, but I do feel that Kiki is really starting to stretch those tyres. Tyres. That's all I've been talking about. 5 laps to go, but it's going to be a long 5 laps. Winning out DRS range now. That is crucial, isn't it? Now I think for Winnie, but potentially there, that's crucial for Winnie, and potentially that's crucial then for the top 3 as well. So Winnie dropping off the back of this crocodile. Marski gaining on the back of Dynamo Dan. Don't think they're going to have a lunge just yet. Not going to have a lunge just yet. Then I don't think so for Dynamo Dan, but we're going to keep an eye on that because I think that's hard for Marski. But I feel that as they are going very close together, going through the S there, that doesn't seem to transpire too well in this one. But Marski, back end is snaking away now, isn't it? On Marski's soft Alfa Romeo down the back straight once again. Then it is Brooksy, followed by Jay Hings, followed by Kiki. As Goodness Free still status quo at the moment. Willie's got DRS there. I thought he was out of DRS detected though there. Good stuff indeed there for Kiki. Putting on the spurt there. Dynamo Dan's got no DRS, and so Marski there just breezes past, and DRS had a bit powerful when you haven't got it on the back straight, or it seems to be. Yellow flag then is something's got to right for the second Alfa Romeo. Swan Shanks has passed Scooby Stew, and up into 12th position goes Swan Shanks. Scooby Stew down into 13th position there. Back at the front here. Now Jay Hings is starting to put pressure on Kiki. Kiki though at the moment then doesn't have a 3-second penalty, so as long as he doesn't drop with outside the 3-second window of his championship rivals, Kiki will still win this race then, or will still finish second and get both. Jay Hings, Winnie and Brooksy all have 3 seconds penalties, and don't forget Casal as well. Lap 25, 26, 27, 28, 4 laps to go. 4 laps and for the soft tyres to be stretched, and it is going to be a very tense affair in the final stages of this United States Grand Prix. Dynamo Dan up the inside. Marski off the circuit and trying to put on the loud pedal there, and the soft tyres that are screaming as hard as screaming really at the moment, and maybe in pain potentially. And I'm wondering, and of course, that might be the same there for Kiki and Casal in the gaggle of the top 5 here. Scooby Shoo out the pits on the soft tires, and he's gone for a second pit stop here. I think that was his third pit stop overall. Kiki, though, is still in the, is still very much in the DRS, and it's really starting to push then as Brooksy, oh my goodness me, I'm so incredibly amazed. Lap after lap, 25 times they have braked in the exact same position on that back straight. It is superb stuff indeed. Absolute mega skill. Oh, I'm giving myself indigestion now. I need to calm down a bit here. Smith, serious mushroom up past Mark Ski, and I'm to 10th position now. Serious mushroom. Serious mushroom would have been in the. It was in the top 10 before that mistake in qualifying. Jay Hinks, look at the understeer. Look at the understeer he got there from the back of Kiki's car. Now, too close to the back of Kiki out 19 is cost him now, hasn't it, ever so slightly, and it's dropped back, and now Smith and White's got a 3-second penalty as well. The penalties have not really been racking up in the second stage of this Grand Prix, as they all came in the opening stage when it was fast and frantic. 3 laps to go in this one, and I must say it is anyone's ball game in terms of who can win this race still. But I think in terms of driver of the day, well, there's 2 outstanding candidates. There's Serious Russian, because it's his birthday, and of course Brooks as well, who's gone from 11th from the grid up into the lead of this race. That is a superb race there from Brooksy. Jay Hinks has got another penalty, and that is crucial because he's going to finish behind his teammate. He's going to be off the podium if it stays as it is, and that is an almighty costly error there for Jay Hinks potentially. And Jay Hinks got to get on the power now. It's going to have to start to get moving here, because Jay Hinks is going to lose the lead in the driver's standings, and they're free, and a 6-second penalty is going to move it right down into 5th position, which is where he was going anyway. But that is all but confirmed that even Casal is dropping off now. He's about 2 seconds away. He is dropping off quite considerably, actually. Dan is now in 6th position, passes Smithy. 9 seconds the gap is between Dan and Casal. Great day for the Red Bull team. Contact! And the 2 championship rivals have come to blows. Jay Hinks and Kiki have come to blows there. And my goodness gracious me. And that is all. The championship has gone into nuclear tonight. Oh my goodness me. Jay Hinks, Winnie's got a 3-second penalty. Jay Hinks had a penalty, didn't he? And now Kiki has dropped down into 6th position. Kiki was on course to win this Grand Prix with just 2 laps to go, and he has been spun out by Jay Hinks. What do we do? You only seen the end of that. Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear. And that is that is going to be a major talking point in this one. Up the inside goes Kiki, then forcing Dan wide, and Kiki is now in the 5th position. He doesn't have the tyres, does he? Kiki doesn't compare to the hards of Smithy and the mediums of Dan, and Smithy Almighty has now become a major factor in the outcome of this World Championship now, because Smithy Almighty, of course, he has a 3-second penalty, might be able to help his teammate here. Jay Hinks is going to drop down into 4th as it stands with that penalty there, with Casal then really putting the pressure on. Can Casal win this Grand Prix? At the moment, he is 5 seconds away. It's not enough. Brooksy leads this race at the moment. Then, of course, both Williams are 6-second penalty. Casal will move up into 2nd in this Grand Prix as it finishes. And if you look right down the back straight, you may see the blue. There is the Alpina Kiki, who is under pressure now from Smithy. Here he comes, and Kiki down into 6th position now. And goodness me, remember that the admins, the race steward as well, is going to be looking at that incident as well then between Kiki and Jay Hinks, and surely, of course, that is not a foregone conclusion, of course, because that has to be reported by the driver, but that could be very costly for the two, for Jay Hinks and Kiki, and that has left an open door for Brooksy tonight. Brooksy has been absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? Really good stuff indeed there for Brooksy. My goodness gracious me, the Brooksy has been superb, hasn't he? I'm not going to fault him on an incredible win tonight, but I think that there's going to be a bit of fallout in this United States Grand Prix, isn't there? Not as much as Silver last night. Goodness gracious me, it was quite a chatty old bunch in Silver last night. Was it after the after the pitfalls and trials of the Grand Prix last night? Look, Kiki is could lose another position here. Down on the medium tires, soft. I think that the soft tires, both Casal and Kiki have done a superlative job of keeping those tires going, because me and Knowlesley both thought that those tires are going to fall off. Knowlesley thought those tires are going to fall off. I have no clue, but I am going to stick with Knowlesley because it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. But Dan is now going to be licking his chops here, because he could get a 6th position and take more points out of Kiki. Kiki will have DRS just about from that McLaren, but it's harvesting now. And here comes here comes Dan, and he's going to pass the Alpine driver, and more misery now on Kiki down the inside there, and through he goes, and Kiki's going to hang it on the outside if he can, but he's got no grip. Oh, goodness gracious me. Here is Brooksy. What a drive from Brooksy tonight. Absolutely outstanding. A horror show qualifying, but tonight he is rebounded in such incredible style and comes across the line. Brooksy wins the United States Grand Prix, the 4th win of the season, and he also takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship with just 2 rounds to go. We've got a break week next week. It's going to be the longest week in the drivers' ALR careers. I'm sure of it, for the drivers fighting for the championship. But Casal in 2nd, Jay Hings is in 3rd now, and the gap is 8 points, give or take, between Brooksy and Jay Hings. Kiki down in 6th position there. That is costly. Remember, though, we'll find out about how this one transpires. Kiki was sitting in that 3-second window. Costly though for Jay Hings to spin Kiki, but that we only seen the end of that. I'm stressing that we could have had shenanigans before that, but the end result is that Kiki down in 6th position. Swan Shanks was classified, I believe, but has left the session now. Sigersbuck getting fast up there, and Don's just coming out to finish the race now. So we got 3 retirements, which was Rocket Lee, Moomin, and FIFA Beefy all out of this race. P8 to P20 to P9, I'll take that. GT top 3, Slayer is saying now. Brooksy is the new leader of the Drivers' Championship. Casal 2nd. Jay Hings in 3rd position then at this moment in time, as we're just watching the end lap then from Brooksy with just 2 rounds to go in this championship. Now Brooksy, 4th Grand Prix win of the season, his 11th podium as well, and taking the lead in the championship there for Brooksy then. My goodness me, this is very much going to be a long break week before we're back in action in Brazil. And there is Brooksy, as we mentioned at the top of the show, that Brooksy, has been his complete season, hasn't it, for Brooksy overall, and my goodness me, and what an incredible race it was. Percy, my driver, absolutely stupendous there, and did take a leaf out of the current gold champion in the form of Percy, coming from the mid-pack through to win the race. Percy did that a few times last season, and a couple this season as well, but Brooksy, the Grand Prix winner here in United States. So let's take a look at the classification then. Brooksy, great drive today. 4th win in the season, takes it in the championship. 11th on the grid there. A horror show qualifying. An incredible race coming back through the field. Driver of the day award as well. Make no bones about that. That's fantastic. Casal, great drive the 2nd today. Jay Hings in 3rd position there. 2 3-second penalties may have cost him 2nd or even the win today for Jay Hings there. 4th position is Winnie. What a drive from Winnie. And that is going to really help Williams in their battle for 2nd in the constructors, but no one cares about that, I don't think, because all these drivers care about is winning. Dan down in 5th. Kiki down in 6th position. That is going to be the big talking point. Smithy 7th. 8th, Dynamo down. 9th, Slayer. Great drive from Slayer. 10th is Stars. Great drive from Stars. Serious Mush 11th. Marsky 12th. Vintage. Scooby Stew. Sickest Muck fast up. Swanshanks finished somewhere in there. And Don's as well. Retirements was Rocket League, Moomin, and FIFA Beefy out of this United States Grand Prix. And we're going to quickly chat to Jay Hings things. And first of all, going to chat to Brooksy. Brooksy, I got to say, I was a bit doom and gloom for you after qualifying. I was saying that the championship was done, but you proved me wrong. What an incredible performance today. But firstly, talk about that qualifying if you can.
Just couldn't find no rhythm. I think the rain's a bit shit for me. I'm not good in the rain anymore. But yeah, you don't need, like I said, qualifying. You don't really get points for qualifying, do you? So it's not where it matters.
It certainly does, and 11th on the grid though to win this race then. But the opening couple of laps, could you talk us about that? Because I must say that the opening stage of this one was. I was saying that it was going to be difficult for you to come through the field, but my goodness me, you was up into fifth or sixth after like the first couple of corners. How did you do that?
I took a wide line going into turn one. I think people hit each other into turn one. And then I think Jake the Slayer got collected by three cars. And then obviously I just slipped myself through. But the hards were awful.
And of course, when that safety car came out, you swapped to the mediums. Then was that your only option going to the mediums on the final stint, or what do you think about the softs? Because a lot of drivers are using the softs today.
Yeah, I just there's no tire advantage anymore in the game. So I thought that Sauce would have died off, but they didn't again. So I thought I'd go safe and put the mediums on, but it paid off.
And you got like a week's break now before we come back into Brazil. You're now leading the world championship with 2 rounds to go, 52 points up for grabs. Then it's still very close. Then and anything can happen in this championship. But how are you feeling then? I'm asking you this question like constantly, you guys, all three of you guys, all the way through the season. But it's really getting down to the business end of the season. Then are you still maintaining the same approach, or are you getting a bit nervous now?
I'm not nervous, just trying to take caution now. I think people are just trying to hit each other for fun. I think people are just trying to cause a bit of issues. As you saw, Kiki had an issue. I had an issue with Casal again. I just think people just are just trying to get penalties out of each other, which ain't good. Especially when we're fighting that close for the top of the championship as well. People just need to be a bit careful around drivers. Show a bit more respect.
And then going into Brazil, then that's a very tight circuit. Then so that's going to be more prevalent than ever before, isn't it? Really trying to not trip over each other. What are you feeling like for Brazil and the final race in Imola? Those two are classic tracks, narrow tracks as well. If you have another bad qualifying session, do you think that that might be curtains for your championship? Because it's very difficult to overtake potentially in those two circuits.
Yeah, I think I have to get top three qualifying in Brazil because it's quite a nasty track. Especially if it goes off today's incidents, I think there'll be quite a lot of safety cars. I think we'll let ourselves down with that today. But like I said, I think people just need to take a bit more cautious around everyone. People blaming people for stuff they ain't done. So I think everyone just needs to relax a little, and it was alright. It was a good race by everyone.
And with this break week coming up, then is this a help or a hindrance to you? Do you want to get the championship out the way now? We got this momentum going into the break? Then how you feel? You just gonna use this break for maybe just chillaxing, or would you rather just get the championship done and dusted?
Rather just get the game over and done with. I think this game's awful, personally. But no, it's a good break week for everyone. I think people practice quite a lot, so I think it's time to relax and then go back again in a couple of weeks' time.
Good stuff today, Brooksy. Your fourth Grand Prix win of the season, and coming from 11th on the grid as well. Superb stuff indeed. Casal, absolutely supreme stuff today. I must say, you can flying in qualifying. Now, you and Kiki was a league of your own then in the rain then in qualifying. Goodness me, you had the magic touch.
Yeah, I don't actually know where my pace came from tonight. Was a bit weird because I didn't really expect to be in the top five. I know guys like Brooksy, G Ings, and obviously Kiki. They are faster than me, but I mean, yeah, on the controller, it seems to be easy, when it's raining on this game, and I don't know. I feel like I'm a bit quicker when it's raining on the wet. And yeah, it was a bit unfortunate that I didn't get P1, but I'm glad. I'm good with the results. But obviously a bit sad because once again I made contact with Brooksy and went off track. Yeah, and I think I lost 3 or 2 positions. I don't know. I feel like maybe I've got a spot on. Maybe I could fill a report, and yeah, I will just let the stewards have a look at it, and maybe I just can get my first win. Yeah, in the league.
It certainly is coming though, because yeah, over the season, you've had some flashpoints of absolutely incredible pace, and today,
Yeah.
you was very much hanging with the top five cars, and not just hanging, also putting pressure on the drivers as well. You had no penalties either, and potentially that could have elevated you to the Grand Prix win today. But the safety car came out, and you went on the soft tires. And me and Knowlesy was having a chin wag in the comment section that maybe the soft tires was going to fall off towards the end. How difficult was it to keep those tires in play in the final stage of this Grand Prix?
Oh, it was quite difficult at the end. You probably saw it. I lost like 2 seconds in 2 laps. It was really difficult. I was sliding everywhere now during the last 3 or 4 laps. Now it was really hard. I actually I don't use my ERS so much now during the race. I'm very cautious now unless I have to really defend or maybe I see an opportunity to overtake. I don't really use my ERS, and I feel like yeah, maybe this could be a good thing if the developers could somehow nerf the DRS or the ERS, because I mean, like the last 6 laps I saw people in front, I mean cars in front flashing, but yeah, they were still going so quick, and I had like 30 or 40% errors. But as I said, it was really difficult at the end. Actually, I wanted to pit for the arts, no, just before the safety car came out. It was like mind games. I was thinking, okay, maybe those guys will fight against each others, and they will lose. They will obviously lose so much time, and yeah, I could easily pit for hearts and then have a certain advantage. But yeah, I think like 20 seconds later, the safety car came out, and I had no other choice than pitting for the soft, because yeah, I already had only had 2 options, the hards and the soft. But I think with the hards it would have been far more difficult, because I would have been so slow, and I would have been eaten alive, just like in China.
But a very good second position today. Well done, Casal. Superb
Thank you.
driving indeed. And very much tire tamer as well for keeping those soft tires in the window. That's superb stuff indeed. What a good second position today, Casal. And let's come to Jay Hings in third position. And we all know what I'm going to ask Hings. What happened between you and Kiki in the final stage of that Grand Prix? Goodness me, that's going to have major permutations in the championship. But was Kiki strong with his tire set, or did you overcook it? What happened?
Well, just at the start of sector 2, I've sent up the inside of the left-hander. I've got alongside, and then on the exit, my front right is just like kind of stuck to his rear left. And I think it's just a bit of a racing incident where he's trying to turn left to prepare for the upcoming right-hander. And then once you make contact, you're stuck together and you can't get off each other, and then it spins him.
But do you think today is points lost to Brooksy, considering the fact he came for 11th on the grid, or is this points gained then? Because what did you make about today's race then? Because you seem to have the pace then to potentially go for the win. But what do you make of today's race then? Because Brooksy did finish start 11th, didn't they?
Yeah, the first thing I've got to say is thank you to Winnie for giving me the position near the end. Obviously, that promoted me to P3, so that's going to make a massive difference for me. So I don't lose more, but I think it's penalties that cost me more today than the incident itself. I think, as you said, I did have pretty good pace. It was just, for the most part, it was just trying to stop sliding, which I found difficult because it's very low grip track. But it was those penalties that cost me in the end. And I do see it as kind of just another race, really. I don't really see it as points won or lost. It's just that's how that race has gone. Move on to the next one in 2 weeks.
It is. And the next one is Brazil. It's a classic track, that one is, and this one's a bit of a car park in terms of space. That one's going to be very narrow. That's going to be quite a lot of emphasis on qualifying, which I must say this season you've been pretty good in qualifying. What are you thinking about then with those two races then in Brazil and San Marino? Sorry, not San Marino, Imola. What do you make of those two races then? Are you looking forward to those races? Are you concerned about those races?
I think in general, I always look forward to these races because even if I do finish like P3, P4, like I'm losing the championship, but I still enjoy the race. I think Brazil, I've done quite a lot in this game. I think I'm definitely confident at Brazil. It's always more of a high downforce track than you think. You think because of the two long straights, it's quite not mid downforce, but it's actually very high downforce. So I definitely think if you have a bad qualifying, you're gonna find it difficult to get through. And then Imola is okay for me. I think it's not a bad track for me, but I do think it's one where I can improve a lot. And then maybe in the next week, where we have got the week off, I will try and practice him a little bit to try and get that up to the level that I've got Brazil at.
And now you've gone from being chased to being the chaser there with two races to go. What Brooksy quite likes to do the chase, and now he's being chased. And do you think that you can get Brooksy to crack under pressure in these final two races?
I think it's going to be difficult to make him crack under pressure because he's been very consistent all season, especially race pace wise. I think in terms of chasing or being chased, I think it's been so close this season that it hasn't really felt like either. It's felt like if you win this race, you're leading the championship in every race pretty much. So you've got to go out there and try and win. You can't go out there and go, okay, let's try and mitigate the damage. Let's try and beat Brooksy, for example, because to do that, you've got to win.
Thank you very much then to the top three. That's superb stuff indeed. Oh, goodness me. Brooksy's back in the lead in the championship. His fourth Grand Prix winner of the season. Superb stuff indeed. Casal, great drive to second day. His best race of the season. And Jay Hings with third position and still very much in it then. There's still three drivers in it to win it. Smith Almighty officially out of this championship now, but he's had a great season as well, hasn't he? Looking very juicy for next season, isn't it? Who's going to be the next pretender? But however, we've still got two more races to go, haven't we? That means I am now in hibernation then for the next week and a bit then. Nose is going to have to poke me with a stick then to wake me up. But tomorrow night is the final race of the Realistic Performance League then. And what a season it's been there. Hopefully Gordo will be there tomorrow to celebrate his championship then. Kiki currently second in the championship as well. I'm hoping to conceal that as well. If Equals in third position. Constructors Championship, McLaren and AlphaTauri and Mercedes are all fighting for the Constructors Championship. Anything is very much up for grabs then. So that is what is going to be on the line tomorrow night. Join Knowlesy as he will be taking you through the trials and tribulations of 100%. The closest thing we've got to endurance. I'm going to bed now. Good night.